Hello friends and welcome to this video. In case you're confused by the title, I know that this is a very different video. I personally haven't seen any of the K-pop collectors that I follow do something like this, but if you know of someone that has done something similar to this, please let me know in the comments. I would love to credit them. I've just never seen this before. But today I'm going to be talking to you kind of about my 2022 K-pop collection goals and like guidelines kind of to stand by. So I got this journal actually at the beginning of 2021 to use for my K-pop collection, but didn't really use it for anything. So this year I want to use it more to make, more so to make like scrapbook kind of spreads and stuff, but I used it to plan out kind of like my goals and guidelines, like I said, for my K-pop collection for 2021. So I figured I would share this with you, and then I do have another little thing that I'll do at the end. So yeah, we'll get into it. I do apologize for the light. It's been really ugly out this whole week. I took this week, this is the week after Christmas, in case you're wondering. Today's the 29th. No, today's the 30th, as I'm filming this. But it's been really cloudy and rainy, so this is like the best light I've got all week. So I apologize, it's not as good as I normally have, but it's what we're working with. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get in here. I am gonna skip past the first couple pages because they were like 2021 things that I did that just didn't happen. So we'll skip through it. It's not a lot. So all right, so this is where we're starting. So I just put K-pop 2022 here. Excuse my handwriting, it's not great, and some of these are a little wonky. Like this went down further than this, and it just was the whole thing. So we're not gonna focus on that. But I am going to see if I can zoom this in a little bit so that you can read it better. We'll leave it in here so you can read it a little bit better. I'll move it around. But so I went ahead and I laid out exactly who I collect for 2022. So some of these are new collections that I haven't actually started yet, but I do know I want to collect them and or have albums on the way for them. So yeah, so up first, of course, we have Monsta X and Wano, and I did try to kind of put this in like priority order, but it's not exactly in priority order or like alt or fave order. But for Monsta X, I have OT5/6/7 because right now they're OT5 since Shoney's in the military, but I am collecting full group for all of their albums. I went ahead and set up my binders already. When I post my collection video for the beginning of this year, you'll see it, but I did set up for all of their Korean albums from Trespass forward. I had already been set up for Trespass, The Clan, and then Fantasia forward, or Follow Forward, because Follow Forward was where I started collecting OT7. But yeah, I want to collect everything for all their older albums, so I just figured I would go ahead and set it up. They're going to be like pretty low priority, like I won't really focus on all of them at once. I just kind of buy things as I see them for good prices, like on Mercari Japan. If I see like a bundle that has a couple cards that are older that I need for a really good price, I'll do it. Like I bought a Juhan and a Hyungwon bundle recently that had like 5 or 6 cards and they were $10 or less, so stuff like that. But obviously new comebacks are obviously the priority. New releases will be the priority. I'm interested to see what happens once Manhyuk and Kian have to enlist. They'll have to do that by, I believe, November of 2022. So I'm assuming Juhan and Changkyun will do like solo, maybe like pair stuff while they're in, and I think Hyungwon will probably do more acting if I had to venture a guess while they're there, but I doubt we'll get a lot of full group stuff until they're all done with their military service at this point. But yeah, so we collect everything for them. Wano, I collect him obviously for Monsta X and his solo work completely. For 17, I collect June, Wanu, and DK thoroughly from an ode forward. Omega X, I collect Sabin, Jaehyun, and Taedong. Kingdom, I collect Arthur, Dawn, and Moojin. Stray Kids, I collect Felix, and I have decided I'm going to collect Jungin, at least moving forward from No Easy. I would like to get some of his older cards too, but again, very low priority. We'll get into more of like the priority stuff on the next page. I don't want to go into it too much here, but yeah, this is just who I collect, so you know. And then from ATs, I collect Hongjung, Wooyoung, and I did add Mingi. I'm going to collect him from Fever Part 3 forward. I might go back and do his older stuff, not sure yet. For Treasure, I currently collect Do-young, Hyunsuk, Yoshi, and Mashiho. They haven't had a comeback in about a year now, so don't know what's going on with them. From Enhypen, I collect Jay. For Taemin, I collect his solo stuff and his Super M stuff. This is a new one, SF9. I will be collecting Zuho. Dreamcatcher, I will be collecting OT7 moving forward, and then working on Xion and Sua's older cards. This is another new collection, I will be collecting Guile. From Everglow, I collect Onda. From aespa, I collect Giselle. From Blackpink, I do Lisa. I also do her solo stuff. And then from Twice, I collect Jonghyun, Momo, and Sana. So that is who I am going to be collecting in 2022. Moving forward, that might change as the year goes on, but as of the beginning of this year, this is who I am collecting and what groups. So then the next couple pages, let me zoom back out so you can see a little better. But these are, I went through and did the priorities. So high priority groups, kind of somewhere in the middle groups, and then low priority groups / individuals. So, okay. So for high priority, I have here pre-orders. So these are the groups that I will do pre-orders from at least one place. Obviously Monsta X and 10, it's a little different. 17, I don't usually do pre-orders for them because they use sites that I'm not super familiar with, but if they ever have pre-orders that I want the pre-order benefits for, I will do it, but I definitely always pre-order them regardless. Like I always order their albums during the pre-order period. So these are all my alt groups, which is why they're high priority. So we have Monsta X, obviously. So I collect full group album inclusions, I collect Hyungwon special photo cards, and I collect full group POBs, but I put here selective if excessive because Starship was so excessive with POBs for No Limit. I don't know that I will do that again moving forward, like just for groups in general, too many POBs. So that's why it says selective if excessive. Again, I'm sorry, my handwriting is terrible, but so there's that. And then for Wano, obviously all album inclusions for his solo work, and then album POBs, and this again also says selective if excessive because they were also very excessive with the amount of POBs for him. And then for 17, I do all album inclusions for my top 3, and then I do one OT13 set per album release. I can't do OT13 for everything because they just have too much for every album with too many versions. So I do want to collect one OT13 set per album release, and I started doing that with Your Choice, so it's Your Choice Forward doing that. And then some POBs for June I will get after the fact. Again, it's not like for 17 for some reason I don't feel the need to have POBs. I did see a few cute ones for June from Attica era that I want, and that's about it. Like it's not going to be anything excessive. And then for Dreamcatcher, I have down here OT7 from Summer Holiday Forward, potentially POBs for Sua and Xion, and potentially special PCs for Sua and Xion. For the most part, it's just going to be OT7 and working on Sua and Xion's older cards. And then they usually always do K-Town for you, like POBs with K-Town for you. So since I will be pre-ordering all these groups no matter what, I will get at least one POB set for OT7 per era, but that's all I need, like max. So yes, so those are all my high priority groups. Like I said, they will always be ordered during pre-order period, regardless of POBs or not, because they're high priority, they're my alts, they're my faves. They will always be ordered during the pre-order period. Then we move over here to medium priority, and it says up here, pre-order optional. This means that these are groups that if I want to, I can pre-order depending on like how many other comebacks and things are happening in a month, but these are albums that can be bought after the pre-order period. So the exceptions to this, like the groups that I will most likely always buy during the pre-order period are Omega X and ATs from at least one place. If I will try to, but like ATs for Fever Epilogue, I did not pre-order them because it was December and Monsta X had stuff going on. So I can get POBs after the fact for these groups, but if I want to get them during the pre-order period, I will. Like Omega X, I usually try to pre-order from at least one site, but a lot of these groups I can find their POBs like on Mercari Japan later, so that's why I don't feel the need to pre-order them right away. But for Omega X, I collect all album inclusions for my top 3 and then select POBs with Sabin's priority. So Sabin is my #1 bias. He is literally almost an alt. I am not ready to admit it yet, but every time I see that man's, I think I said this before, but he makes me feel the way that Hyungwon did when I discovered Monsta X, which is why I think he's going to be an alt. I'm just not ready to commit to that yet because in my mind I'm like, he can't be, because Hyungwon is my only ultimate bias that I have right now, and I'm like, I feel bad, but man, he just does stuff. But yeah, so I do collect some pre-order benefits for Jaehan and Taedong as well, but definitely Sabin is priority. And then for ATs, I do all album inclusions for the top 3, which is photo cards, because ATs doesn't tend to do bigger things. And then select POBs as well, but Hongjung is obviously the priority here, because he is my #1 bias from ATs. For Kingdom, I collect all album inclusions for my top 3 again, and then select POBs, usually 1 per member per era, which is usually what I do because that's how it fills out a page nicely. Usually Kingdom has 2 versions of their albums and there's only 1 photo card per member, so to fill out a 9 pocket page I usually do at least 1 POB, then 2, so that way it fills it out okay. And then for Stray Kids, all album inclusions for top 2, no easy forward. I did decide I'm probably going to do Hyunjin and Changbin for Christmas Evil, but I don't know that I'll keep doing that moving forward just because top 4 is kind of a lot with Stray Kids. For me, at least, since they're not like an alt group. And then I will also do select POBs for them, and again, 1 per member per era. Most likely will always be Sub K, because Sub K has like the cutest photo cards, and they're always some of the more expensive ones to get after the fact, so I'm okay with just doing Sub K every era for them. And then for SF9, I will be doing all album inclusions for Zuho, and maybe POBs. If I do, it would probably be 1 per era, and I might just get them after the fact. I might not like pre-order for them. And then IVE. IVE is on medium priority because this group, I know they're very new, but I can just tell they're going to be like Omega X and Kingdom. Once I discovered them, like, they're going to be a priority. So we're going to do all album inclusions for Guile. Not super concerned with pre-order benefits for her, to be honest. So if I get them, I will, but again, I'm not really concerned with collecting POBs for her. So yes, so that's medium priority. And then we're back over here, and these are our low priority groups, and then this says no pre-order. So these are groups that I will not order during pre-order periods. Not concerned with POBs at all, to be honest. So first up we have Treasure, so all album inclusions for my top 4, and then I have 1 POB per era, but I can get it after the fact. I'm not super concerned with them because at least for their first 4 releases, they had a lot of photo cards just within the album, so I don't really feel a need to be getting a ton of POBs for them either. For Unhypen, it'll be all album inclusions, no POBs. Taemin, it's really the same for all of them. So for Unhypen, Taemin, Everglow, aespa, Twice, and Blackpink, it's all just album inclusions. And for Blackpink, I did put 1 POB per era max, but again, I have never collected POBs for Blackpink, so I don't really feel the need to start now. So yes, most of these are just all album inclusions. Treasure's the only kind of exception in there. So yeah, these are all groups where I don't even feel the need to like pre-order or get them anytime soon. It's really just going to depend on month to month, like what's happening. Like if my high priority groups are not having comebacks and only like 1 or 2 of the medium priority groups are having comebacks that month, then I will do these. But they're very like catch-up months for me for like these groups, very low priority, and I don't really feel the need to necessarily buy the albums for these to get the photo cards. Like I'm okay with just getting the photo cards like from Bai, Mercari Japan, something like that. So yeah, and then the last page I have here is collection goals. So these are my collection goals for 2022. There's a decent bit here, but we'll go through them. So first I want to complete at least 2 more Monsta X OT7 sets. So I did complete Trespass in one of the clans. I think it's 2.5. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen what it actually is. I did 2 of those last year. I would like to do 2 this year. I'm actively working on the Beautiful era set. I would like to do that. And then I think I would also like to do Shine Forever, but I will have them up on my Instagram, whichever 2 I'm actively working on. So I want to do 2 OT7 sets. I would like to finish my Felix older cards. I only have a few left. I would also like to finish June's older cards. I did buy a few of his recently, so hopefully I will be able to find the time and money to get some of his older cards that are more expensive this year. I would also like to finish my Hengare sets for 17, because I have finished an Ode and I finished Semicolon. And Attica is now done. I have the last Wanu photo card at least that I need on the way, so I would like to finish Hengare for them. Yes, because I only need a few more. I need a lot of Wanus, but like DK and June are at least halfway done, so I think I can do that. And I would like to get 2 older era albums for Monsta X, which this is already going to be done. So my cousin bought me some albums for Christmas / my birthday, but she wasn't able to come up for the holidays because her husband unfortunately got COVID, so they stayed home. She was negative, but she still just didn't want to be traveling, which is totally understandable. But she did let me know which album she got me because she knew I was going to be purchasing some albums in June. So she did actually get me both versions of Shine Forever, the repackage, and Rush. So that one's actually already done, but I will still try to get 2 more on my own, since that is for 2022 and those are technically from 2021. Stick to budget and goals. So I really, really want to stick to these goals here, and I really want to make sure I'm sticking to my budget. I have been lenient with myself very often when it comes to K-pop, and I need to stop doing that because I also have, like, I'm an adult. I have other things going on. I would like to start saving up to buy a house. I currently live with my parents, and when I have to leave eventually, I would like to buy a house as opposed to renting. So I really need to start sticking to my budget, and I want to pay down my student loan debt too while I'm here. So really need to stick to budget and the goals and, you know, prioritize and stick to it. I just need to be more strict with myself is essentially what I'm saying with that one. I also put potentially downsize treasure. I collect 4 members, which is a lot. When I started collecting treasure, I was only collecting Monsta X, treasure, and ATs. Like, they were the only 3 groups I was collecting, so it was easy to do 4 members. Not so much. And actually, when I started, I was collecting my 4 members, the 4 that I still collect thoroughly, plus Haruto and Jaehyuk, like I did more limited stuff for them. But I was technically collecting 6 members when I started. And then as I started discovering more groups that I wanted to collect, I very quickly, you know, dropped Jaehyuk and Haruto because I just wasn't making them a priority. And I was like, this is dumb. I shouldn't keep them if I'm not making them a priority. And like, you know, so yes, I might potentially downsize treasure. I probably definitely will if they don't have a comeback for a while again. Like, I'm gonna play it by ear. Right now, I'm content keeping it the way that it is because I have all of their photo cards complete, and I don't really want to get rid of any of them. If anything, I would probably keep all the selfies at least. But I have thought about only collecting Do Young since he's my #1 bias from Treasure. But again, they haven't released anything in like a year, so I'm gonna wait a little bit, but that's why it's a goal there to potentially downsize them. I would like to get 2 more of Hyungwon's older broadcast photo cards. Well, it's just broadcast in general. It doesn't have to be older ones. It can be from like No Limit too. But I would like to get 2 more of his broadcast photo cards. I would like to complete Turnover for Zuho. So for Zuho, I didn't mention this yet. I'm actually going to be setting up for his collection after this, but I'm only going to start collecting him from Turnover forward. So for Turnover and Rumination, I do have a set of each of those on the way here. So I might go back and collect older cards, but for 2022, I just want to make sure I complete Turnover for him. And yeah. So, and then I have Zendenary, Extenary. I don't know how you pronounce. This is JYP's new boy band. Sorry, not boy group, boy band. Extenary Heroes. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce their name. I have question mark because I might collect them if they have a physical release, but we'll see. That's why there's a question mark. I would like to downsize my extra albums. I've actually sold quite a few of my extra albums recently between Instagram and eBay, so I'm really happy about that, but I still have a ton more, so please check out my Instagram if you were looking for some older albums. I have a lot of 17, I have a lot of Monsta X, obviously. I have some ATs, I have some Treasure, and just some other random stuff. So definitely check it out. I really want to get those albums to good homes. And then journal spreads. So I would like to do like collages and stuff. That's what the majority of this is going to be. But I would also like to do at some point like a mid-year check-in to kind of see like where I'm at on all these things and see if I want to adjust some goals. But yes, so those are my collection plans and goals for 2022. Now we'll go over to the second part, which is the other thing I wanted to do in this video. Hello. So I'm here with my binder, and like I briefly mentioned, I am going to be setting up for Zuho's collection. I recently filmed and organizing my binders because I went through and reorganized some things and then also added in new collections that I was starting, slash set up for some comebacks that happened, but I wasn't like set up for already. But I hadn't officially decided who I was going to collect and like how thoroughly I was going to collect for SF9. Depending on what happens through the year, I might end up collecting my top 3 from SF9, which are, my top 3 are Zuho, Huyoung, and Chani. But for right now, we're just collecting Zuho. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens and what we're able to do this year, but yes. So I have them. This is the Boy Groups 1 binder that also has Wano in it. So they're going to go in here just because my blue binder is too full and I can't justify getting another Boy Groups binder yet because there is still plenty of room in here and it's not a huge collection to start out with. So yes, if Wano has another release, I'll probably get another binder and just move him into it and out of this one. But for right now, we're just going to put Zuho in here. And I'm going to put him between Omega X and Kingdom because to be honest, I feel like they are shooting to the top of like my faves list right now. So they're kind of like Omega X kind of when they came out. So yes, but we'll see. I did try to get into SF9 like earlier this year and just never really committed to it. And then like over the holidays, like mainly just most of December, I really got into SF9. I was like, oh my God, I love them so much. And their music is so good. So I was definitely sleeping on them for a while. But yes, so I have fillers here for Turnover and Rumination Era. There are 7 for each one. There's 2 photo cards per version of the album. And then, sorry, there's a dog here and it's bothering me. And then I also have his Kinos. I was looking on Mercari Japan, and Zuho actually looks like he's a pretty cheap member to buy photo cards for. So that's really exciting. And even his Kinos were pretty cheap. So yes, so I'm just gonna do that. So there's 7 cards total per album, so I'm just gonna do a 7 layout on each page for Zuho. Obviously, if I decide to collect my top 3 at a later point, the setup will change a little bit, but for now we are just collecting Zuho. So yes, I'm gonna put the S version. This is for Turnover, so there's the S, the F, and the 9 version, and I'm gonna put the Kino in between the F versions, that way we can do an actual 7 layout. I love 7 layouts. I truly do. I don't know, I like slept on them for a while, but I actually really like them a lot. And I think just because like when I went through to set up for like my Monsta X OT7 older collections, I really began to love this layout. So yes, so that is it for Turnover. And then for Rumination, there is the Scar, Blood, and Connect version, and then also the Kino. So again, another 7 layout for us. The only thing I don't like about these nails is they make it a little hard to get these things in here sometimes, but I'm getting used to it slowly but surely. All right. But yes, so that is it for this video. So we are set up for Zuho now. I'm going to go ahead and make labels to redo the spine. I need to add one for them on here. But yeah, so that is it for this video. Those are my goals for 2022. We'll see how well we stick to everything. I'm going to try to be hard on myself, and I want you guys to remind me that I need to be hard on myself sometimes, because it's just K-pop and I do have other priorities in life. But I want to make sure that I'm really giving my attention to collections that I enjoy and not just feeling like I have to collect out of like duty to a group, if that makes sense. So yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what some of your 2022 K-pop collection goals are down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. I'd love to know what groups you want to work on, maybe start or go back and do some older stuff for. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, I hope you guys are having a great day or night wherever you are. I hope you're staying happy, healthy, and safe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.